let me break it down a little bit. So I don't want people to say, I'm not afraid of nothing. What I mean by that is you may not want to go down the rabbit hole because you're not sure how you're going to react to the information. You don't know if
Yeah.
you're going to react in fear and panic. You really don't know how to receive it, and you don't know how to respond to it. Is what I'm saying. What's your take on that?
Yeah. I think you're totally right. There's something called cognitive dissonance where your brain tries to hold two contradictory ideas at the same time.
Mhm.
And, you know, when you can see something with your eyes that doesn't match up with what you feel or what you've been taught your whole life, it creates a sense of discomfort. And it's very natural to just lean into the part that you learned your whole life and just say, no, no, no. I know the thing I've seen with my eyes. I can look away because I know that the things I learned, the things that I feel comfortable with because I've been hearing them my whole life, that's real. So
Mhm.
I'm just going to hold on to that even harder
Mhm.
because it's hard to let those things go. It's hard to admit that you've been manipulated. It's hard to admit that you've been manipulated by people who even have kind intentions, like your school teachers, your elementary teachers, your high school teachers.
Mhm.
It's not that they're bad people, but they are perpetuating a system that promotes hierarchy, that promotes racial hierarchy, that
Mhm.
promotes economic hierarchies, promotes men over women. And these things are baked deep, deep into our system. And as we were just saying, a lot of those choices were conscious choices that were made to benefit the people at the top, who are largely the white owning class, who are men, who are straight, who are Christian, who are, a lot of the things in these hierarchies, you know, we're conditioned to believe that that is the way things should be because that's the way things are now. Uh, we're like, oh, well, I guess that's just the way things are. And that's just the way they'll always be, or that's the way they have always been. But you come to find out when you look into history that that's not how things have always been,
Mhm.
that social hierarchies as they exist now have not always existed in this way. And that it is possible for people to see equality as the way out of these hierarchies. If we all relate to one another as human beings and see one another as human beings, that's how we can get out of this. It's because it's through unity, because there's so many more working people. And if we just look at each other as fellow human beings who are also workers, who are all in the same boat, we way outnumber this small social class of people who own everything right now. And we don't have to keep things the way they are. But I understand, like you say, that it's scary to confront that and try to think about changing any of that.